Hey everyone, this isn't my normal video, so it's not my normal intro. I'll get back to my song reviews tomorrow, I promise. However, the March Madness tournament is almost upon us. They had the Selection Sunday show last night, and I'm going to be filling out my Yahoo Fantasy Men's Tournament bracket. I'm going to have an ESPN bracket, and I have a paper bracket with me right now, and they're all going to be the same because these are going to be my final picks. I can't wait to get into this and do a little bit of like commentary and stuff like that on my picks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to my picks. We're going to go with we're going to do the entire round of 32 first, from south down to the east, and then Midwest down to the west. That's how it's going to be in order until we get to my championship. So without further ado, let's get started. Alabama versus the winner of Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, and SEMO. That's Southeast Missouri State, I think. We're going to go Alabama for that one. It should be easy. Maryland and West Virginia, I was a little bit conflicted with this, but I'm going to go Huggy Bear and West Virginia for the 9/8. Here's another one I was very conflicted on. I thought about picking San Diego State, but Charleston has like 31 wins on the season, and even though they're in the CAA, which is a really low mid-major, we're going to go with the Charleston Cougars over the San Diego State Aztecs for my first, I guess, kind of big upset. Not necessarily first upset, but I don't really consider a 9/8 an upset. I think anything between two seeds and more is considered an upset. Here's another one I was conflicted with. I ended up going with Virginia, though. Furman can beat them. I was really close to picking Furman, but I didn't want to have a 12 versus 13 because that rarely happens in the NCAA tournament. It happens, but not often. So I went with UVA for that one. Creighton Jays and NC State Wolfpack. We're going to go with the Jays. Baylor Bears over the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos. Here's another one I was conflicted on because Missouri's in the top 25, but Utah State gave the San Diego State Aztecs a big run for the money, and I ended up going with the Aggies of Utah State over the Tigers of Missouri, and we're going to say the Wildcats over the Tigers. Arizona moving on over Princeton. Now we are going to get to the East region, and this region is all chalk for me. 1, 8, 5, 4, 6, 3, 7, and 2. That is all chalk for me. I was conflicted mostly with this one. I was really close to picking Providence. That could happen, but I think Kentucky can handle them, even though they lost to Vanderbilt in the SEC tournament. I was also a little conflicted with this one, not too much though. Oral Roberts does have that 7'5" guy, and they also have Asmus or whatever his last name is. But Duke is just so hot right now that I would have picked Oral Roberts if they were going against any other 5 seed except for Duke. That is very unfortunate for Oral Roberts. I'm going to pick Duke over them. And a lot of people are going to be picking Louisiana over Tennessee, but I think this is the least likely 13/4 to happen, so I went with the Volunteers for that one. And I think Kansas State can handle Montana. Michigan State should be able to handle USC, no problem. Same thing with Marquette over Vermont. And Memphis is just really hot right now, so I had to go with them over Florida Atlantic. Midwest. Let me scroll up a little bit. There we go. We're going to have Houston over Northern Kentucky. Since this game is being played in Alabama, we're going to say Auburn over Iowa. This was probably the 12/5 that I was conflicted with the most. I ended up picking Miami, though. I think they're going to get their big back, and I think that they should be able to handle Drake okay. Even though this is the lowest, I guess, point differential spread, I think they should be able to handle Drake okay. Here's another one I was conflicted with, and this is going to be my biggest upset pick in the round of 64. We're going with the Golden Flashes of Kent State to beat the Indiana Hoosier Daddies in the round of 64 to move on to the round of 32. Iowa State versus the winner of the Mississippi State and Pitt playing game. Here's another upset of mine, Mississippi State or Pitt. Whoever wins that should be able to handle Iowa State, especially after they lost one of their, I guess, key players. I don't know if he was a starter, but I know he was definitely a key player of theirs. So the first 4 teams should be able to move to the round of 32 in this. Xavier over the Owls of Kennesaw State. Here's one I was really conflicted on because Penn State really gave Purdue a run for its money, but Texas A&M, I want to say, beat Alabama in the SEC Championship, so I went with Texas A&M, the Aggies, over the Nittany Lions of Penn State for this one. And we're going to go with the Texas Longhorns over Toothpaste University. Toothpaste University's got to be the strongest of the 15 seeds, though. So, gotta give them that. Now to the West region. Kansas Jayhawks over the Howard Bison. Gonna take Arkansas over Illinois. Was a little conflicted with that, but ended up going with Arkansas. Here's another upset of mine. My second 12 over 5. Gonna say VCU over St. Mary's. Pretty much because, well, this is my alma mater too, VCU, by the way. If you didn't know, VCU is my alma mater. But if you weren't aware of this, this game is being played in Albany, New York. VCU is located in the state capital of Richmond, so about 300 or 400 some odd miles away from Albany. But St. Mary's is located all the way out in California. That is about a 3,000 some odd mile flight to get to Albany, and they're going to be behind by 3 different time zones. So yeah, expect VCU to win this one. I'd honestly be really surprised if St. Mary's came out of that. We're going to go with UConn over Iona. The Huskies should be able to handle the Gales fairly well. We're going to go with TCU over this play-in game right here. I don't think Arizona State or Nevada can beat TCU. We're going to have the Zags moving on over the Lopes of Grand Canyon. Here's another 10 over 7, Boise State over Northwestern. I think the Broncos can handle Northwestern. I think Northwestern's a little bit of a pretender. And we're going to say the Bruins of UCLA over the Bulldogs of UNC Asheville. So there's my round of 64 picks. I had 6, I believe, total upsets. That is going to drastically change in this round. So we are going to have Alabama beating West Virginia. We're going to have UVA over Charleston, although that may come back to bite me in the ass. San Diego State could very well beat Charleston, but I needed a 12 over 5. But yeah, we're going to have UVA. We're going to have a 6 over 3 upset here. Creighton over Baylor. I think that would probably happen. Even though Creighton's a little inconsistent, I think they can get past the Baylor Bears, with the Wildcats of Arizona getting past the Aggies of Utah State. Now we got Purdue versus Memphis. A lot of people are going to pick Memphis because they beat Houston in the American Athletic Conference tournament game. But we're picking the Boilermakers to move on, along with 5 over 4 for Duke. Was really conflicted with this. Thought about picking Kentucky, but went with Kansas State eventually for this one. And I also went with Marquette for this one over the Spartans of Michigan State. I think they should be able to handle them without any problems. On to the round of 32 over here. We're going to say Houston over Auburn. A lot of people would probably pick Auburn over Houston, like I said, since it's being played in Alabama, but I went with Houston. I'm going to go with the Canes over the Golden Flashes, ending Kent State's, I guess, Cinderella run to the round of 32. We're going to go with Xavier for this one, and we're going to go with Texas for this one, over the Aggies of Texas A&M. A lot of people would probably pick the Aggies to beat Texas, but I think Texas is just too good right now. We're going to go with the Jayhawks over the Razorbacks. Sorry, VCU fans, this is going to end my alma mater's run. We're going to say the Connecticut Huskies over the Rams of VCU. We're going to say the Bulldogs over the Horny Toads. And we're going to say UCLA Bruins over Boise State Broncos. So my Sweet 16 is set. And here we go. We're going to say the Crimson Tide of Alabama over the UVA Cavaliers. And we're going to say the Wildcats over the Jays. So I got 1-2 there. That's kind of chalky right there. But this is where the chalk ends. We're going to have number 5 Duke Blue Devils to beat Purdue in the round of 16, the Sweet 16. And we're going to have the Golden Eagles over the Wildcats to move on to the Elite 8. So I got a Duke-Marquette Elite 8 matchup there. We're going to say the Houston Cougars move on to the Elite 8. This is ultimately Houston's and Texas's region right here. I'm going to have Texas moving on over the Musketeers, by the way. But this is ultimately Houston's and Texas's region. to win and lose. I don't think any other teams can really beat them. But yeah, it's possible though. But I do have another 1 versus 2. This is where it ends again. I'm going to have UConn beating the Jayhawks in the Sweet 16, and I'm going to have the Bruins moving on over the Bulldogs of Gonzaga in their Sweet 16 matchup. That may come back to bite me, though, because a lot of people have UNC Asheville beating UCLA, because UCLA has a pretty significant injury, but I think Jaime Jaquez can really make up for that. Elite 8 games. My first of the Final Four, Bama over Arizona. My second Final Four, Marquette over Duke Blue Devils. So I have 1 Final Four matchup set already. This honestly was the game that I was conflicted with the most. But you know what? I needed another number 1 seed in this Final Four, because I don't have a 1 seed in the West region moving to the Elite 8. So I said Houston for this one. That may really come back to bite me in the ass, but I think they can get it done, along with a 4-2 upset moving to the Final Four in the UConn Huskies over the UCLA Bruins. Our Final Four is set. Alabama versus Marquette, and we are going to go with the Crimson Tide as my first championship team. In Houston, the Cougars versus the UConn Huskies, and we are going to go ahead and go with the Houston Cougars for that one. Our championship is set, Alabama versus Houston, and we are going to go with the Houston Cougars to win the national championship, with the final score being 73-67. Actually, no, I need the winner score over where my champion is. So 73-67. There we go. And that is my March Madness bracket for you, with Houston as my champion. And I got, not counting 9s over 8s and 5s over 4s, I got a total of 10 upsets with a 2-seed differential, with a total of 10 upsets in my entire bracket. That might be a little, that might be not enough, but at the same time, it might be just enough, but who knows. So, with that being said, hit me up in the comment section below and let me know who your Final Four is, who you have as your upsets, who you think the national champion is going to be. Let me know all of that in the comment section below. Also, what do you think of my bracket? What do you think of my picks? What are some of your sleeper teams? Let me know everything in the comment section below. Comment on everything you think will happen and about my bracket as well. But that is my video for today. If you liked what you saw in this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and comment below. And I will see you guys next time with another video. This is Steven signing out.